carload of Damien's Hirst. Is this California? Hello there, Dogwood here. Settle down. I returned to the studio to find that Commissar Root had summoned me, Dogwood, into his office to give me a ticking off about some of my recent behaviour. I am apparently out of kilter with the CCR Code of Conduct regarding diversity and have been instructed to attend an induction program that will facilitate alignment with corporate values. Now, for those of you who don't understand, recent conduct is this. Previously, last Friday night, I went and had a meal, was invited out with some friends of mine, and this is what happened. I don't want to get all Hugh Scully over what happened on Friday night, but I bloody well will. 35 quid that cost me. That's 1 3-course for me, a pint for Howard, a starter for SJ, and a takeout for Miss Fairy at the bottom of the garden. Bloody marvellous, that. Thought I was going to be in for some insight about how to be more successful with women, but instead I get left on me Bob Todd, after the 3 of them make some lame excuse and left. SJ had some so-called text message, and then Howard and Fairy Cake just got up and left. I thought they'd gone, but I saw them in the bar after I'd finished chasing my rather hard-spotted dick around a bowl full of custard. Charming. Well, I knew I was right. I was quite prepared to put down the Kieran Prenteville veneer and get right out of my comfort zone, but the 3 of them muffed it. I'm afraid all you've done is confirm my views that schooner boys are nothing more than indolent fops, and the 2 ladies in question are just flippy-giddy-bits, who are no more interested in crop rotation than I am in the performance ratio of an eyeliner. I'll stick to my own kind in future, thank you. Anyway, I comforted myself over the weekend by reading my autobiography. It's the only piece of common-sense literature that I can find these days. I wrote another chapter in it called Women Are Not to Be Trusted. The basic essence of my analysis is that women expect men to do all the standard chivalrous stuff and yet cry foul when they feel that their rights are being threatened. For example, I arrived promptly on Friday and expected that the ladies would do their usual keep them waiting lark and turn up half an hour late. So I sat in the holiday bar, out of sight, and watched them arrive. I then turned up and said, "Aha, my point exactly," only to be greeted by blank faces. That's another thing with women. They feign ignorance. I was talking to the fairy about the performance of Multida Tank during the Desert Campaign 1940 to 1942. She stared at me and sipped her drink. Now I knew with absolute certainty that she knew what I was talking about. Okay, she may not know her Panzer Mk3 from her Mk4, but she knows enough bloody desert warfare to at least engage me with a response. After all, there's always something on the history of Discovery channels, you know. I expected Fairy to be a bit Penny Smith, that lass from GMTV, all knowing looks and wisecracks. But she kept yawning when I explained the battle for Tobruk using her goat cheese tart. Anyway, I left in time to catch Corporal Brabbins at the Crown, and we had a quiet pint. It only got spoilt when the bloody women's football came on. I just gave up then. Now apparently, this programme involves a residential element, which incidentally is being held at Hotel de Vosper in their conference facilities, I should Coco. This residential element is designed to get me in touch with my feminine side, and a part of the process is to get me dressed up in a leotard so that we all become sexless. Well, excuse me, but I'm not having my Leonard Rossiters on display, encased in lycra or not. Guthrie, that's Emlyn Guthrie, our Cheambeat Sports commentator and presenter, who is also attending, has told me that because I am apparently obsessed with the lace brassiers, that I may be forced to spend a day wearing a lace brassiere to make me appreciate the discomfort of what is a functional tool. Well, if they do, I shall be resisting. Dogwood in a brassiere? Can you imagine the headlines? No, it shall not pass. Dogwood. That's what I'm talking about. Good evening.